The OnePlus 11 is here. So the OnePlus 11 is a smartphone I've really been looking forward to. I did trade in my OnePlus 10 Pro for this phone, which I was kind of hesitant about, but there's a few reasons why I did upgrade, and I'll explain all that here in the video. So yeah, today I'll be doing an unboxing of this phone. I will be giving you a rundown of some specs, showing you how the phone looks, just a brief look at some of the features that it has and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, let's go and get right into it. So starting off with the display, we got a 6.7-inch Quad HD display coming in at 1440 by 3216 with a 20 by 9 aspect ratio with 525 pixels per inch. It is an LTPO3 Fluid AMOLED panel with a 120 refresh rate, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and the 1300 nits brightness. It does have corner and griddle glass Victus. For the processor, we got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 octa-core processor with an Adreno 740 GPU, so top of the line flagship specs here. And you got various RAM and ROM configurations. The one I have has 16 gigabytes of RAM and storage is 256. Now we have three cameras on the rear, the main being a 50 megapixel wide angle lens with aperture of f1.8, a 32 megapixel telephoto lens, aperture of f2.0 with 2x optical zoom, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle lens with aperture of f2.2. It does have Hasselblad color calibration, dual LED flash, HDR panorama, all that good stuff. For video, you can record at 8K at 24 frames per second, 4K at 60, 1080p, 60, all that kind of good stuff. For the front camera, you got a 16 megapixel wide angle lens with aperture of f2.5, recorded at 1080p, 30 frames per second. For the battery, we got a 5000 milliamp hour non-removable battery with 80 watt wired charging and a bunch of other goodies that I won't bore you with. So let's go ahead here and get started by removing the top of the box. And OnePlus is going to give you everything, of course, in the box. So in here we have an OTG cable. We have your welcome guide, starter guide, all that stuff that nobody really cares that much about. Of course, we got the phone right here. We'll go ahead and pull it out and put it to the side. And we'll go ahead and just see what and all else OnePlus put in the box for us. And wow, when you're going to advertise 80 watt fast charging, you need that 80 watt power here in the box, which is what they give you here. Really nice. I'm glad that they actually supply you with the wall brick. And of course, you get the red USB-C, and they're pretty good. The red USB-C cable is Type A to Type C. That's kind of strange, but that's what it is. So anyway, I'll put all this away and we'll look at the phone. So we're back with phone in hand, and ooh, wee, does this thing look good. I don't know how y'all feel, but to me, this is a beautiful phone. I love how they did with the camera design there. This green color here is just beautiful. Now, I do like the frosted glass back because less fingerprints, stuff like that. But this glossy here is pretty sweet itself. Which one do y'all like better? Now, one thing that I am seeing here that I really haven't noticed in any video that I've watched on the OnePlus 11, and that is in the camera area right up in here, it's got a glitter in it all the way around it. You can see it right there, maybe shining, but that's just like a glittery look. It's a nice touch. But anyway, now here on the side, we do have your power button and your volume slider. On the top, it looks to have two microphones. On the left is your volume rocker. And on the bottom is your SIM card slot, microphone, Type-C charging port, some antenna bands, and your bottom firing speaker. Let's go ahead and power it up. Any juice in the battery? Here we go, OnePlus. Very excited about this phone. Alright, so I'll go ahead and get it all set up and I'll come back when it's finished. Alright, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now, I have a quick question for y'all before I go any further. When it comes to unboxings, what would you prefer to see? Will you unbox the phone, show the phone off, maybe look at some of the camera settings, maybe a few of the system settings, and then kind of let it ride? Or once the phone is set up, do you want to see all of the settings that it offers and all that stuff? let me know, because of course one is a lot shorter than the other, while one's going to be a lot longer than the other. So let me know down below in the comment section. I sure would appreciate it. But for today, I want to just going to take you on the camera settings, show you a few of the system settings and all that good stuff, and then wrap it up. And then at a later time, I will come back and we will go more in depth. But so here on the front screen, it shows you your time, the date, battery life, and of course, I want to show you different ways to unlock your phone. Fingerprint scanner here, lightning fast. It just every single time, boom, opens right up. No issues whatsoever. You can also swipe up for your PIN, your pattern, your password, whatever you want to do there. And you also have your face unlock, which, boom, that is quick. Man, that is fast. Okay, so anyway, now I'm going to take you through a few settings here, not much. I do want to show you a couple things in here. Now, in About Device, you'll see we're on Oxygen OS 13. There is an update available. OnePlus 11 is the name of the phone. We all know that. Storage 256. 31 gigabytes has already been used of that. So there you go. Battery being 5,000 milliamp hour to 8 Gen 2. RAM at 16 gigs. But you can expand that by an additional 4, 8, or 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's just crazy. And all the camera information down there that I read to you earlier. Now, I am going to show you one thing here in the display. So when you're setting your phone up, you can set it up for light mode or dark mode. Mine's already in dark mode, as well as the bottom buttons or the swipe gesture. So all that can be set up when you're setting the phone up for the first time. But down here, I do like the fact that they give you the option of Full HD Plus or Quad HD Plus. So if you don't really care about Quad HD all that much and you want to stick with like Full HD Plus to get that extra battery life, they give you that option, which is really nice, as well as the refresh rate. Now, 120 hertz does look really nice and smooth, and it's just a pleasure to use. However, the animation right there that they're using for the standard, kind of a joke, but anyway, it is what it is. So it's nice to have all that stuff there. This screen going out on me all the time to get on my nerves. Got image sharpener, video color, enhancer. I mean, all this nice stuff here in this phone, which we'll get into at a later time. But, so far, I mean, you may be asking, why did I trade in the 10 Pro for the 11? And the main thing is just the fact that it's got a lot more. I'm doubling the RAM from 8 gigs to 16 gigs because when the OnePlus 10 Pro came over last year, we didn't really have much of a selection as far as configurations for storage at the beginning. We got 8 gigabytes of RAM. Storage was a 128 gig, and which is fine. But, you got the 8 Gen 2 in here, of course. You got better cameras, supposedly. We got to check all that out and everything. But yeah, I mean, basically the phone from the front, I can't tell the difference between the 10 Pro and the 11. I mean, the display looks beautiful. I mean, everything. Now, we got to see. Time will tell with the battery life and all that kind of stuff. Now, looking here in the camera for a second, I'm very excited to try these cameras out. They're probably going to be really nice. 3rd generation Hasselblad and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, probably really good cameras here on this phone. We'll try it out. Anyway, got photo, video, got your night mode, portrait mode. Looking forward to using that here on this phone as well. And you got more for pro mode, panorama, movie, slow motion, time lapse, long exposure, dual view video, tilt shift, and expand. So good stuff there. So back here right now at video, we can record at 720, 1080, 4K, and 8K. So we'll look here at 1080p, and you can record at 30 and 60 frames per second. The semi was 720, but we'll leave that alone. 4K, also 30 and 60, and 8K, which is a gimmick in my opinion, is 24 frames per second. So we'll leave it 1080p right now at 60 frames per second. So yeah, we'll get into all of the more camera specifics at a later time. Just kind of show you right now what you can record in and stuff like that. Now, it did say 1080p on the front camera. Let's see if that's correct or not, because if it is, come on, OnePlus. And it is 720 or 1080. Now, I've said it before that I personally Don't care if it's got 4K on the front camera, 1080p, but I at least expect 60 frames per second on the front camera. Okay, if you don't offer 4K, I'm cool with that personally. I know the majority likes to have that 4K recording in the front, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But for me personally, I'm fine with 1080p, but give me 60 frames per second. There is no reason this phone that's got everything that you want in a phone does not offer 4K for the front camera and 60 frames per second. There's just no excuse for that. But this phone sells for $799. To me, 100% worth it, because you're getting every feature that every other flagship has that is selling for a lot more money. Okay. And as of right now, I believe you can get the memory expanded one like I have for $699. Yeah, that ain't what I paid for mine. But anyway, we'll get into that later as well. But $799 for a phone that offers as much as this phone offers, there's no room for complaining here. Okay, they're just not. So that's my first impressions there, my first look, my hands-on, whatever you want to call it, of the OnePlus 11. So that's all for this video. If it's helpful or informative in any way, hit the like button. Any questions you may have, leave it below. If you're new around here and you ain't subscribed, consider subscribing and clicking that bell on for all notifications of future videos. I would really appreciate that. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.